Hello again, my name is Rick Phelps, and this is part 6 of developing your operating system. If you haven't already tuned in to the first 5, you might want to go back and see them first, as we'll be building on these. Today, we're going to talk about driving continuous improvement in your organization, and that really is all about the difference between context and content. All right. Every manager at every level of your organization is looking to answer 3 questions. What to change? What should I be improving right now? What to change to? If I'm going to make an improvement, what kind of improvement should I make? And then how do I affect that change? Right. What I've seen is that most organizations jump to solution. All right. They look at, oh, I need to make improvements. I should do lean, or my business should do lean, or we should do Six Sigma, or we should do Lean Six Sigma. We should implement some of the really cool Industry 4.0 tools. Or maybe we should do some capital projects, buy some new equipment, whatever. That all falls under the category of content, all right? And content outside of context can really waste a lot of money. And context is what this vlog series has been all about. It's been about developing your operating system. And so the operating system sets the context for when you're going to do the improvements, where you're going to do the improvements, and how they're going to impact your bottom line. And to give you a little example of this, back in 2005, a fellow named Joe took over as CEO at Cliffs. And Joe, I've known him for years. He was a big Six Sigma guy. And so he wanted his organization to have the content, to have the tools to make improvements. And so he launched a Lean Six Sigma program, and they hired some outside experts, and they set about training about 50 people and as black belts, and a few of them as master black belts. And they set about applying the tools, right? And for 2 years, they did a lot of training and a lot of projects and absolutely no impact on the bottom line. And the reason for that was they had lots of content, lots of great tools, lots of great concepts, no context within which to do it. It wasn't until we came on board and built their operating system that we set the context within which to do those improvement projects and actually started driving massive improvements to the bottom line. All right, so we're going to kind of explore that slightly in this vlog today. All right, so content gets you how to affect the change. You know, what tools are going to apply to make things happen? Well, the operating system, that's what gives you the clues on what to change or improve and what to change to. And so really important that you spend the time to develop your operating system and connect the dots. Because again, the operating system lets you define the roles of each and every piece and part of your process in the context of making money, right? And we want to make more money now and in the future. And so we've tied all of this through in this example, in this vlog series, to throughput dollars. And throughput dollars is king, all right? Throughput dollars is what drives your business. It is the biggest lever in your business. If you're not focusing your improvements on throughput dollars, on improving throughput, you're wasting your efforts and you're not going to get the return on investment. And the reason, it's really clear if you look down here in the formulas, all right? Throughput is in every one of these formulas. And to make that abundantly clear, let me change out the ROI formula, right? If you're not impacting throughput, you're not impacting your net profit significantly. You can impact net profit through lowering expenses, right? There's the finite end of it. There is no limit to how much throughput you can get in. Productivity, same thing. You can drive up the numerator. It's much more powerful than driving down the denominator. You can increase ROI by getting more profits, net profits, and inventory turns, throughput dollars. Most important part of your business. And this is a connection that's missing in so many businesses that I've interacted with. All right, so we're going to drive throughput dollars. And that means we're going to want to maximize throughput through our constraint processes. And we do that by really looking at OEE, overall equipment effectiveness. And we're going to look at really what to change and what to change to in this context. So if you're a factory and you want to impact OEE, kind of the smallest lever is quality, but it's an important lever. And if you're a process industry, quality might drive up your yields, which can be huge. If you can drive up your yields on your products, that's free money, right? If you're a parts and pieces business, quality might drive, a lower scrap rate. And again, drives up your profitability. Important work, right? Performance, the next one up. This is how well you're running when you're running, and identifying improvement projects that really ratchet up your performance, maybe improving the way you operate or the control and response plans and things. Very, very critical to getting more throughput through your plant. But in my experience, the biggest lever is availability, the top one. This is where most of the hidden factory is, that extra capacity that you have in your plant that you're not utilizing. You can drive up availability by doing improvements in changeovers, the changeovers between products. And you might look into a process called SMED. It's one of the continuous improvement toolkits. You might look at project management. You might look at how your shutdowns are done. We made massive changes and improvements at Cliffs in the availability world by focusing first on their shutdowns and buying big chunks of extra capacity for no dollars. All right, just time and people's good ideas. And so when we look at answering these questions and we look at the improvement work that you want to drive in your business, recognize that the nature of improvement work is different at every level in your organization. While the questions remain the same, what to change to, and how to affect the change, what questions your managers are asking is different at every level. All right. However, it all boils down to the work at the base of this pyramid, right? Everything comes down to who's doing what, when, and how, and that's work tasks, right? And every work task should be driven by the Deming cycle. Plan the work, do the work, check the outcomes from your work, and take action on that to improve it as necessary or as the opportunities present themselves. Right? And so at your base of your organization, work tasks are, or the work expectation at the shop floor is execute the work tasks as specified and work through problems. As problems present themselves, those are your opportunities to improve. Now at the shop floor, improvement often takes the form of redesigning the work. So do we have the right tasks? If you have multiple operators doing the same work, watch them, find out who does it best, examine the data, and then standardize on the best way to do things, right? That's standard operating procedures design or work design. The second piece of work design is always workplace design. This is where the 5S tool in the lean kit comes into play. Never do 5S, never design a workplace absent the context of the work that's being done in that workplace, right? It's kind of silly, but I've seen it done way too many times to talk about. So workplace design, work design, that's your opportunity to get the folks on the floor engaged meaningfully in the improvement of their work situation, their workplace, their work. Great opportunities there. As we go up a level and we look at the first level manager, their question and their work is at a different level. It's now, can the team execute the work as specified? And I should probably have put the word all the work as specified, all right? And if they can't get all the work done, it's incumbent on this level of management to redesign the crew's set of work. What exactly does this mean? I thought I'd share a story with you about when a crew wasn't able to do all the work and the consequences it has. So I've done a lot of work in minerals and mining processes. Cliffs is one of my favorite examples because I spent a lot of years there. But all these processes, they make piles of stuff, All right. And this happens to be a pile of iron pellets. And they have these conveyors that reach way out in the air like this and drop stuff into piles. And very, very critical piece of equipment, because this is the end of the line process. This is the last step, right? Before shipping, loading and shipping to the customers. And so that conveyor must run or the plant backs up. And so examining that pulley out here at the very end of this conveyor, that's really important work. It's so important that they scheduled it every single week. Somebody had to go all the way out there. It didn't matter if it was the dead of winter in Marquette, Michigan, which is freaking cold, man. You had to get out there and you had to inspect it. And that makes perfect sense because it's such a critical piece of equipment. Except the time that was allocated to that task was about enough time to make it halfway out that conveyor. All right. And when inclement weather happened, you don't really want to do it. It's going to get inspected next week. So you don't get out there and you don't do it. Pencil up the paperwork, say you did it. Nobody's any the wiser. And that can happen for weeks and months, even years. And some point in time, usually at the worst possible time, in this case, it was in February, that head pulley, which hadn't been lubricated in freaking months, was out of oil and it seized. It froze up in the frozen winter with a full pile below it. That's about the optimum worst conditions for trying to deal with the head pulley, because you got a pile of materials below it that you got to get out of the way before you can fix it and get the crane in to access it and lift that head pulley out. And so in this case, the work that was assigned to that maintenance crew was more than they can handle. And nobody was asking the question. Nobody was checking to see, is it really rational? Can they really do the volume of work we're giving in the time frame possible? And when the answer was no, the answer came in the form of a massive multi-day loss of process time in a plant. Very, very expensive. All right, so you don't want to do that. You want to have your team examining the set of work and redesigning it to make sure it all gets done. So we step up to the department level. Now we're asking if all the work is getting done, because we have people verifying that, if all that work is getting done, then are we getting the results expected? If all the maintenance work is getting done, are we delivering the OEE that we need or the availability that we need? If the operating procedures are working, are we getting the run rates that we need? We're getting the quality that we need. And if we're not, if all the systems are being executed and we're not getting the results, this is this person's work. This is where they need to design the department's work, the collective work of everybody in the department, so they can get the results expected. And if that result is OEE at the constraint, then it's OEE at the constraint. If it's something else, it's something else. At the next level up, at the general manager, the head of the organization, this is where, for the first time, value comes into play. Do all the systems and all the departments that I have deliver the value required? And if they don't, somebody's got to look at the whole integrated set of work systems, the hiring systems, the firing systems, the compensation systems, the bonus systems, the operating systems, the maintenance systems, the procurement systems. All these systems have to come together and deliver results expected. And those results have to come together and combine to be the value that the business is expecting from the organization. And this is where the improvement work of the general manager happens, right? This is that work. And so he or she has the context of, is all this stuff coming together and doing what it needs to do, which also, by the way, puts the onus on that person to make sure that there's department managers are making sure that the results are delivered, and that his first level managers, their first level managers, are making sure the work can be done, and the shop floor people, the supervisors, are doing the work and helping get the design of the work right and the design of the workplace right. And so all of this sets in the context of planning. This is what we intend to do, doing it, looking at the results, see if they match the plan, and taking appropriate actions. And that is the engine for continuous improvement. And all of that is set in the context of your operating system, because your operating system connects the key metrics of your business, the number one being throughput dollars produced, connects that metric all the way down to the work on the shop floor level, and then back up in terms of collections of work, systems of work, integrated systems of work. And that's how you figure out what you need to change, what you need to change to, and apply the tools to best affect that change. And that's where continuous improvement comes from. Again, my name is Rick Phelps. If there's anything we can do to help you apply these tools to your business, we would be delighted to do that. You can reach me at 216-533-1387. That's my cell phone. And my email is rickphelps@actioncoach.com. Please reach out. All of the vlogs are on phelpsltd.com. You can find the rest of the series there and future vlogs to come. Again, have a safe and prosperous week. Good luck.